Boom! What's up, YouTube, and welcome to week 8. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about motivation, a little bit about ratios, a little bit about measuring, a little bit about mass building naturally, but most importantly is week 8, which is a 4-week interval. So you know what that means? It means it's big lift week. It means I'm going to be looking at my 1 rep maxes again. I didn't get deadlift, I'll start by saying straight away. Just haven't done it. 1 rep max, wasn't in the mood, didn't feel like it. And when you're not in the mood, you don't want to lift your 1 rep max on the most compound movement there is. So I didn't. So what I did get for you was the squat, and I got my bench press. So without further ado, here they are. Of course I start with the queen of compounds, the squat. And this week I'm going heavier than ever. 165 kilograms in total. I like to wear a hoodie and a beanie hat on squat day. It just feels right, I don't really know why. It's just a leg thing. Maybe it's comfort on the bar. So down to 90 degrees and back up again. I'm happy with this lift. I've noticed everybody wants to know what everybody else can bench. Maybe it's just an upper body compound thing. But anyway, 115 kilograms is my new 1 rep max. And this is how I'm looking at the moment from the front. I don't know the first thing about poses, so don't even mention that. I think my tries have come on quite nicely there. And my back, which is still freakishly big for the size of my body. I thought I'd throw in a bicep shot as well. So as I mentioned, I was going to talk a little bit about ratios and, you know, my statistics, my measurements and my mass. You know my height, or if you don't, it's 5'10½". So yeah, ratios are really important because it's all about perception or an illusion of how someone looks. If someone appears to have big arms, they might not have particularly big arms if they've got tiny wrist joints, tiny elbow joints, a tiny waist and a tiny everything else. So I looked at some stats and I thought it was important first of all to replicate somebody. So I looked back over the Mr. Olympias and I liked what I saw way more in the 70s and actually the late 60s more so than I do now. You had obviously Arnold Schwarzenegger, Franco Columbu, Frank Zane, and Zane is who I wanted to really replicate because Zane, he just looks incredible. He has this tiny tapered 29-inch waist and then up top this 51-inch chest, which just looks incredible, the ratio. So here's a picture of Zane for you. Fantastic physique. Now I don't really think I could ever replicate that because I don't really have the genetics in the waist. I have a 32.5-inch waist, but I have a 44-inch chest, so you can see there he has a massive contrast waist to chest. So for me, what I need to do is get my chest and my shoulders broader to get that tapering mesomorphic look. Now Frank Zane, I think you'd actually describe as an ectomorph more so than a mesomorph because he starts with a very naturally thin frame, but although some people who are ectomorphs are hard gainers or have bad genetics, I see that actually as being a great thing if you're willing to work hard because you start with a harder base, but if you can work hard, ultimately you have the potential to look better. That's my feeling on that. So my personal measurements, 32.5-inch waist, 44-inch chest, 16-inch arms, didn't bother with neck and shoulders actually, and 25-inch thighs. Now Zane has 26-inch thighs, and if I'm trying to replicate his physique, that tells me I should slow down on the thighs a little bit because my chest is 44, his is 51. You know, that's a lot harder to get up to than adding 1 inch to the thighs. So I think that's a priority more than ever. Franco, however, he was only 5'5", and had, I believe, a 30-inch waist. So obviously nowhere near the same ratios as Frank Zane, but this man just looks powerful. He's got a fantastic chest. You can really see that split in the chest from the the lower part of the pec and the upper part, and just incredible physique in general. So I'd like to like him as well. So just to point out that if you don't have the perfect genetic base, if a 5'5" guy can do it, who can't do it? That's just the point I'm trying to make. My weight at the moment, this week 8, I'm actually weighing in at about 85, 86 kilograms. So in stone and pounds, that's about 13.5 stone. But I'm going to start my cut. It's not really a cut. I'm going to basically deplete carbs a lot for 2 weeks just to trim down fat so I look really cut for my final sort of week 12 body pictures, so I can really see what a transformation I've made. Anyway guys, that's all I can think of for now. So hope you enjoyed the video. Stay tuned for more. Just a little side note guys. Here's how not to look and how not to treat your body. Pot noodle, no abs, what a mess.